Hello. Well, first of all, I want to welcome you to Harper College. You're taking me for a fully online class. In this instance, is going to be Marketing 106, Retail Merchandising. The class starts, I think, on Monday. Well, you'll have the date when we go into syllabus. This is going to be your quick orientation. So I'll tell you everything about it, just so you move around. Some of you already had online classes. Now, this is a fully online class. That means there's no a WebEx section or virtual classroom. So it's what we consider a 24/7 class. You could come in anytime. The only requirements you got, you're going to have weekly assignments. They'll start from Monday and then that Sunday. Once Sunday is over, that assignment is no longer available and you move forward. Part of marketing or business or management is that you meet the service dates of your consumers or your customers or your clientele. So I am going to open up this right now. I'm Dr. George Mochocki. So what I'm going to do, and you may be looking at this orientation and go, wait a minute, you had that last year or the year before. The orientation doesn't change. You may be also looking at the same orientation for my online WebEx class. The only caveat is that we'll have a virtual component in there. So what that means that your discussion board is worth less because the a virtual classroom or the face-to-face classroom aspect of a learning environment becomes the discussion board. Okay, since it's fully online, there's more points weighted towards discussion, and we'll go when we go into the syllabi. So you're going to come into your Blackboard shell, and if you don't know how to access this, it's in your Harper portal. Go in there, find Blackboard, and find your course. It says not a management class, not a finance class, sports marketing this semester, retail merchandising, or marketing. I teach a variety of classes. My background, if you look at my bio, is management and marketing. So and it's basically my master's and my doctorate, all in business. My corporate experience, my own background with small clientele, small customers, or small businesses that I'm doing now as a consultant is in that area. Okay? All right. So here's where we go. So we're going to go into retail merchandising. Now, when you look at this course here, you always see my nice smiley faces in here. Your first post to my discussion board should be by Tuesday, Wednesday to max. And the reason is don't wait till discussion at the end because you have to have a dialogue. If you do everything in your discussions at the end, when it's due by Sunday, you will not get the full 12 or 15 points, whatever it is for the discussion that I have on here. You will only get maybe half because that's no longer discussion, that's a download. If you're dealing with customers, and this is a marketing class or a business class, you don't wait till the customer time, I'm going to do all my customer complaints, all my inquiries all on Sunday. No way it happened. That customer requests something today, he or she wants an answer by the next day, within 24 hours. My reply to you, if you're going to be sending me any kind of email, it has to come to the Harper. I have to see the Harper Gmail address on there, or I do not reply. That protects you for your privacy and everything else. And whether you let other people look at your email or allow them access, that's up to you. All I know is that you are one of my students, and if you're talking about grades or anything else, you're dealing through the proper channels, and I know that this is the student that I'm replying to the Harper email. So make sure you always check your Harper email. Don't say I've been trying to get a hold of Dr. George and he never asked me because I've got George at Comcast. No way. It just goes into my spam, and maybe once every 2 months I may look at it to see if I missed anything. But that's just automatically the way I have it set up. Utilize the email that Harper gave you because that's a identification, especially in an online class. The other thing, if you look on here, you notice that I have on here is my profile. I want you, part of this class, it's a fully online class, is to update your profile. I can't get in here right now. A little bit slow. Oh, I'm sorry. You got to go down in here and you go into settings. You know what? I teach another school in here to use a Canvas, another learning management system. And I go personal information, and under personal information, it says upload, change my avatar. Here's the picture of my avatar. Put the new avatar or picture in there. So whenever we're doing the discussion, basically, it's easier to follow the threads instead of just a silhouette that I never see. Come on, if I want to see anything about you, I could probably look up your name and find more information about you, what you look like, than anything else in social media that's out there. We have very little privacy. If you have any kind of apps or anything else, there's information on you. I understand some people don't want to update their profile for whatever religion reasons or cultural reason. I don't care. Here's what you do. If you don't want to put your picture in, put something in there like a Cubs, a picture of a teddy bear, a dog, a cat, a fish. As long as I just want to make sure that you know how to update your avatar within this class, and you'll get 8 points. Otherwise, those are easy 8 points you lose. And then when you're doing discussion, it's easier to follow who's talking to. When we're doing a discussion, try not to always talk to the same individual. You have to talk to other people. That's why you have to at least respond to my post first, which is worth half the points, and then the other half, you respond to other people. So if you just respond to me and the other people say, cool, good idea, no, I'm expecting at least 4 or 5 sentences for every reply back. Remember, the discussion board in a fully online class replaces discussions or lecture time within a classroom. Okay, so you have that, and you could either browse the file, put it up, and take a picture. Most of you have some pictures on there. Okay, so I'm just going to cancel that, just so you understand. So now I'm going back into my Blackboard, and I just want to bring that up while I'm in here in this orientation. Then I'm going to find my class again. It'll be available, I think, in this particular class will be next Monday, and I'll have usually open up by Sunday, and they'll have the syllabus and everything else. So if you're looking at this and say it's last semester, nothing changes, just the syllabus and some of the dates on here. So you can have my announcement. Here's my online orientation. You can click on and find out. Here's the syllabi. Let me just click on here real quickly. I have it in a PDF file. Always check on my syllabi, because depending on what happens, because COVID-19 or the weather or technology or some kind of or some systems are down, either Blackboard or something else, and we can't, we lose a couple of days and I have to adjust it. Always check your syllabi that it has the date. This one here is fairly current for this course that I'm looking at now, the semester, February 6, 22nd. So if I do an update, you'll say February or March 6. So I updated the syllabi to reflect the current situation now. Remember, this is in this particular case, is a 16-week class condensed into 12 weeks. Sometimes I teach this class in 12 weeks, 8 weeks, or 6 weeks, or full 16 weeks. We're fully online. Okay? So I just want to make sure, same orientation. Doesn't matter. I don't have to do it over and over for each segment. You're adults, you could figure it out. Use your critical thinking skills. All right, so here we go. So I'm going to click on this my PDF file. It should open up right, and on this one here, it's going to open up. It saves it on here. I think Blackboard. Let me just do that. I think I already got it open. Okay, so you're going to click on here. Let me just close this one up, and I already have it up here. So let me just bring this up here for this class. All right, I got this. Excuse me, document. Hang on a second. Okay, so I pause it for a second. So you may even say, did something happen? Glitch in the system. Thank goodness for technology. See, I can pause myself here. I can't do that in the classroom. And those of you who look at some of my other YouTubes and videos that I have out there for this course that I did a couple semesters ago, I don't really edit very little, because I don't do that in the classroom. I can't change it. So what I say comes out, unless I say something that's really not very intuitive or intellectual, I may cut it out. But you get what you get, okay? And the more you do it this way, so you feel more comfortable. I want you to feel comfortable in the classroom, like a real classroom. And if you see my virtual settings, the way I set up, and when you have to have some virtual classrooms or some virtual meeting, you'll be able to communicate, and you can say, hey, I gotta have a tie. I look at my background. If you notice in here, when you do your discussion board, I got 3 flags up there. The U.S. flag, when I became a naturalized citizen. I was born in Germany, but Germany is also a point of entry. I'm Polish. I speak Polish as a second language. English is a second language for me. Polish is my primary language. I'm not a German citizen. I'm not a Polish citizen. Germany is just a point of entry. I am a U.S. citizen, naturalized. Right? Just so I have those. That's my background. And see, and it tells me a little bit about myself. Then you see everything else. So the rest of the office is probably trashy, but what you visualize. Remember, you have to come up to a different type of a platform now. I'm doing virtual or recording. I do some podcasting also. Okay, so here's the syllabus. You got my name, Monday, here's the dates in this particular course, 22. Got the name, how to get a hold of me, voicemail, virtual meeting, Blackboard by appointment. And I either utilize Blackboard, Collaborate, that's part of the learning management system that we're in, or I will utilize WebEx. And the WebEx I utilize is Harper's WebEx. So it's a corporate WebEx, very secure. I'll just send you the link, and then we could have a meeting and discussion. When we have those links and we have those meeting discussion, you're not recorded, but you have to have a camera and you have to have the audio. No different than if you would be in my office if I would have been at Harper. I have no presence on. I'm a contractor for Harper. All my classes are online, either or WebEx, virtual classrooms. So any kind of meeting would be in here. Would be through either a WebEx or a Blackboard Collaborate. Just so you understand. So here's the number. Okay, it tells you about the class. I'm not going to go through all this. I think it's like 17 page. This is the book you need. If you look at the book, Harper Bookstore, you could pick up the book. I forgot what the price is. Would they have it on there? Like $93, $100. It's not only this, the book. It's a loose leaf book. It comes with a McGraw-Hill Connect. You have to, or you could buy an ebook that costs you a little bit more, less or more. I don't know what the prices are. So it's $94 with this loose leaf, $194, but you could get away with the ebook, which is the electronic version, and you have access to that, I think, for 6 months before it goes away. That's how they make the money. Okay, it's like a subscription. You're just subscribing to the ebook. But it's not only the book. So don't buy, if you buy it on Amazon, it says you have to have this Connect passcode. Now, Amazon may say, here we got the ebook, we have the bundle book with the with the passcode. You get it, and the passcode's already been scratched out. That means it's been utilized. It's no good. All right, so you have to buy the passcode and everything else. Get it here, the best price. No project going forward. There's no final exam, but you were doing a final project. So you need the book, you need a chapter, you need the PowerPoint, you need the connector to learn the concepts and different aspects of retail merchandising or retail management to go forward. There's no way you're going to pass this class without buying this book. Without getting the passcode. So do the right thing. Do the right thing. You need it. I'm just telling you up front, because I know a lot of instructors say buy this and they never use it. I'm not telling you. I'm not here for you to waste money for something that you'll never utilize in my class. Okay, so you have that. You got the information, and the prices may change, because I taught this class last summer, if I'm not mistaken, summer in the spring. 2021. So we updated the book. I updated a lot of my lectures and everything else, so it's fairly current. So you have all that information. Don't look at it. One thing I want the students to remember is that any class you take, you have the what do you call it, syllabi in here. Make sure you download it and save it, whether it's the first version, second version, whatever. A lot of the connections that Harper College has with the other schools out here, this course is, I think it's transferable to the marketing class as an elective for the other four-year university. But let's say, for example, that you're going to another school that Harper College may not have an interaction. You may not know it's a smaller school or in another part of the country that we have students going, but it's not all the time, so they may not know. So they may say, hey, you say I already took a class similar to this at Harper College, and I passed it with a B or an A or whatever. One thing to remember, to transfer a class over, you have to at least get a C minimum. A D, you can still get your certificate or degree here at Harper College, but it's not transferable. So at least try for that C. But I would expect most students in my class, and I'm trying to give you a positive outlook. You do the homework, you do everything else. You should pull out a B or an A out of this class. I also give easy Fs. And that's not fine, that's failing. Okay, so make sure you have you saved it, because then you're going to say, no, I took that. If you have an instructor that gives you a syllabi only 2 pages long, you'll be taking the class over. With this one, it tells you everything you're doing. When you go in there, here's the behavior, here's what I'm going, here's the time, my expectations, how to grade, what's going on here. All this is yours. You're adults. Learn to read it, you can read it. I'm not going to go, here's how you're going to learn, the projects, everything else, assignment, policies, quizzes, and then you actually get into, this is what's required in the discussion board, how I grade on the discussion board, journal entry. Sometimes I have a journal entry. In this course, I may not have it. It means because you're doing a lot of different discussion and work in the 16-week course down to 12. So I try to adjust some of the requirements I may have you do in a fully 16-week class. You're still learning. All right, I'm just condensing it. Okay, you got your quizzes, PowerPoint presentation, and it tells you. You remember now. Part of the thing, no final exam. You're going to do a write-up. You're going to create a new store or a new department, and you're going to basically use the chapters in the book, and it's going to start building. And I have the information in here on your major project, and then that's going to be a written document. I think worth 100 points or so, and then you're going to do a PowerPoint slide presentation. Harper College. If you go into the Harper. What do you call it, portal, they'll have a link there how you could download on your PC or Apple computer or your ThinkPad or whatever. I think 2 or 3 complete versions of Microsoft Office, which includes PowerPoint, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Access, Microsoft Excel. All these is free to you. It's really not free when you find out the marketing business. It comes out of your student activity that you paid for. And the reason they do it, because if you're going to go into business, this is the way you're going to present. This is the way. And a lot of students like, there's different programs they utilize. They like Google Docs, Google Slide, because it's free. Anything you're free is very limited in your ability. When you utilize Microsoft Office, it basically gives you the ability to interchange. I have to exchange something, a date in Excel, but I have it tied into my PowerPoint, my Word. It automatically changes that date or that information as I put it in there and updates all the other programs that are connected to it. It's a tool that business uses. Get used to it. This is what I hire your people for. I expect you to be not proficient, but at least be able to utilize it. And this is how you're going to give some of your presentations. And so you're going to do a virtual presentation. You're going to have a camera, audio. You can say, hey, my name is George, and I'm presenting this to somebody else on this. Okay? So you have to basically be able to utilize this software on that. Good? Okay. So now I got this. Now here's how you're going to be graded. You're going to have 14 attendance class participation. Each one is worth 25 points each week. And remember, you have to post to mine first. That's worth half. And the other half says you reply 3 or 4 more students. And then online weekly reflections, others that, and I've got it in here and I'm still thinking. So those are the replies. You're going to say, hey, how do I think I did it this day and how did I did later? Student assessments worth so many points. These Learn Smart is what comes with the publisher. So you do good. You have 17 quizzes, so much percentage. And so everything that you have in here, you are actually creating what I'm looking at. You're creating a retail merchandising marketing plan as your final paper. No final exam, just a final paper with a narrative, either with a visual, you get extra point, or audio, and you get so many points in lieu of a final exam. And that comes up there. So look at this. So if you don't do any of the attendance participation, that's how I look at attendance. If you're not in the discussion board, you're not in my class. Just like you don't come to class in the work. Okay, so, and that's worth 30% of your grades, 350 points. Weekly reflection at 8%. That I could adjust. I may adjust down the road. Harper student assessment. The assessment to tell you how this class is doing, and it doesn't have your name. It just gives you the feedback, and you'll see when we get an assessment, extra points on there. You have these Learn Smarts assignment. That's this thing that comes in with the passcode. So when you get either the loose leaf or the electronic version, it will have a link or a passcode. Once you pair it, and I'll show you how you're going to pair it in Blackboard. The first homework assignment is last time you had to pair, and you'll be able to go into McGraw-Hill's Learn Smart to do a homework, PowerPoint, and videos, and other aspects in there. The quizzes and everything else are going to be within a Blackboard, so you get a flavor of both, if you're especially a new student here at Harper College. Retailing merchandise marketing plan worth 100 papers. You have to write up. Remember, you have to write in any class you take here at Harper. You have to write across the curriculum, and then a narrative slideshow in lieu of a final. And then basically you have an audio and a video, and you use Microsoft Office, PowerPoint. So get you this way you at least could see on your resume, yes, I know how to utilize this tool. Okay, and here's your grades comes in here. And here's the first week, look at my orientation, and that should take care of that for your syllabi. Oops, let me see what the heck I had on here. I somehow, open up Firefox. Here we go. All right. I just went through, I've got all these different things, everyone's using my, all right, here we go. Let me go on now on this one. Now, if I'm looking at this one here, if I'm coming in here, so you got the syllabi, all your work that you're going to be doing, I'm back into Blackboard, okay? I just opened it up, do this. So most of your work, make sure your weekly discussions are here. All right, so you click on that reply, and you reply. The first one's easy. It's going to tell me something about yourself. You already learned about there. Most of your work can be found in this weekly module. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into the student mode right here. Okay, so you could see exactly what the student sees. Okay, so now I'm in student. So I come in here, I open up, I'm going to my weekly module, and all I see is this one. I got to get rid of this one here. It shouldn't be in here, all right? I know. I thought I cleaned everything up from last semester. Okay, now you see. So your homework, you got to have the book, either ebook or the loose leaf copy. But your homework will be off the pages, and you do certain things. So in this class, you're going to go visit stores. You're going to do other activities instead of just always responding. And that's what you're going to put into your discussion board. This is a very interactive class. So make sure you do your work. Okay, so week 1. I'm going to click on week 1. Here's my virtual orientation. The class starts. Now, these are my YouTube lessons for retail merchandise. It's an overview of what you're going to learn. Look at that. It's only 7 minutes. Here's my lesson 1. This is in addition to what you get from the book and the author's presentations, and he or she, both they have information and slideshows and videos. And this is just me saying, here, if you come in here, here's what's going to happen. Now you're also going to get what we have, the Learn Smart homework. So the first Learn Smart homework, when you click on here, it's going to take you into, let me go in here, connect, instructor, everything else, and then you begin. Now, if you have the passcode, it's going to ask you for the passcode. I'm not going to come in here because I'm coming in here as a make-believe hypothetical student. You're going to come into here, you're going to put in the passcode, and then you're paired, and all your homework assignments in this section, and library, and your grades, and everything else you'll find in here. Very easy to use, very intuitive. Now, let me explain how the Connect works. The Connect works, you have from Monday to Sunday to do the homework. You could do it as many times as you want. I have it defaulted at, I think, 35 minutes, 40 minutes. So you have 40 questions. It's going to ask you certain questions per chapter 1. If you know the questions, you could finish it in 20 minutes after you read it. If you don't, you get stuck on a question, it's going to ask you again. It's going to ask you a third time. The third time, it's going to put you into the ebook and say, read this section. And then it's going to ask you a completely different question. And within that process, it's going to ask you one more time. It's going to bring the question you had problem for, and it's going to bring it back in. And when it brings the question back into the question base, if you got it right, you can move on. Now, when it stops asking you questions, you get 100%. So you have from Monday to Sunday. So if you do anything on Sunday and time ends up, or if you say, I'm tired of this, I don't want to answer more questions, and you end it, and come Sunday midnight when it takes the grade, you will maybe see a 70% or a 60%, whatever you get, or A, B, C grade on there. That's what you got. But if it doesn't ask any more questions, you always get 100%, you get an A on that. Remember, look at the point that I told you you had on there. Remember, on the syllabus, how many points, what percentage is worth on, okay? So I'm going to go back out of here, and I'm back in here, so that's where this homework. And now this one here, week 1, so I got 2 for some reason. Oh, this one here's introduction. I just copied them both in for some reason. I just duplicate. I just get rid of one later on. Okay, that's just my error when I came in. See how I found that out? Now, after this, you're going to have a chapter quiz. So you read the book. You looked at the PowerPoints. You opened up. I have my video. I also have what you call my mind map. My mind maps are all available to you. So if you go into your in here, you'll have all my concept maps. My concept maps are rough outline. You print it out. I'll show you one later on. You open up and you click on it, and then you could write on into it. But it'll give you the first level of your vocab and what you should be focusing on. Utilize that for the questions and the quizzes. Now the quizzes. After you have all this, Learn Smart, so now you learn the material, you know the concept. You're going to do the quizzes. The quizzes are set up 60 minutes, and it comes out, I pull it from a pool of 50 questions. So in the setup, you have 2 tries. If you don't do well on the first try, you have the second try. It takes the highest grade or an average of the 2. I forget how I have it set up. And that's it. You go for it. So if you have the second try, you have to do it after you finish the first time in the same setting. You have to open it up. It's open all week. Once you start it, you have 60 minutes. What do you got? One question, Dr. George. All right, 60 minutes and you go on forward. Okay. Here it tells you how to update that avatar that kind of went up here. Here's some other info video. Here's my mind map. I'm going to show you that. I got 2 copies of that accidentally. Here's my Harper from last time. I'm going to get rid of this because I've changed the format a little bit. All right, you're in the student mode. Exit the student mode. Let me get out of here. I like to do this now while I'm in here. Okay, so I have the narrative. This is my week. Okay, where am I in here? Weekly modules. Okay. Week 1. Are we looking good? Okay, so I've got this. I got these 2 retail. This is my YouTube. Has the time on here. This one here, one of these I just gonna get rid of, and I'll delete this one. Okay. I just did it twice. I already created everything else. I was just doing this recording before there. I don't want to have students have any issues. Other retail. Now my mind maps. I gave you 2 of the same mind maps. I'll delete this one here. Okay. And this orientation from the last semester. I'm live. You see, one thing you have to understand: business and retail management and merchandising is that you try to be as effective, efficient as you possible. I'm live now here, so even though I'm recording, I just got rid of all that. So now I'm all ready for week 1 from you. Okay, so now let's open up this concept map, right? So this you got 2 tries. You click on that. Once the week is over, you don't have it. It's lost as you move forward. Remember, don't do everything in 1 week. Start here, read 1. This week's easy, 1 chapter. Next week, I think there's 2 chapters, whatever is in there. And just do a little at a time, but don't try to do everything at the last time or you won't get full points. Okay, so let's look at this mind map. I'm going to click on here, and now the way Blackboard works is save. It'll open up. You have to save it to your computer or anything else. Sometimes it opens up. It should have opened up within the Blackboard so you could see it. But for some reason, that one's not on here. Hang on a second. Okay, and this one here was the mind map for everything about this whole course you're taking. And if you notice on here, later on I'll have another mind map on here. So it'll give you the chapters, everything else. Let me just stop here for a second. Okay, I opened up the lesson 1 mind map. What is retailing? So if you look at all this information, if you notice wherever I have the pluses, that means there's more information. The chart from the book, all this information here is the areas you should, economic, social significance of retailing, decision process open. Anytime you have a plus, there's more information. My YouTube video on lesson 1 will give you the detail. What you have to do is take a pen, print this out as a PDF file. Sometimes I have 2 pages, depends on the information, and then you just write in here. Right, here's my information, you add it. The more senses you could involve. I mean, the marketing is all about utilizing all your 5 senses. I hear it, I smell it, I touch it, I could write on it, I could get people interactive. That's all marketing. The more of the senses I could utilize in marketing, and in this case is retail merchandising. So if I come in there, if I'm a bakery, why do I want to buy cookies? Oh man, I remember when I was a little kid and I smelled those cookies. You know what I mean? So they kind of get you, and then you see the cookies, you see everything else in there. So they're trying to get all your senses, and then you have the music, or you had the person, would you like to try a free sample? Now they're getting you interactive. So all senses. So part of the whole thing of learning, the more senses you utilize by writing instead of just typing in. Typing in, you're like a computer. It comes in here and writes it from the brain to here. When you write it in, for some reason, it has a different connection, a longer connection for you to remember your content material. Remember, I want to give you the first here, and that'll be it. Now, let me just close this off. When you're back in Blackboard, you could, if for some reason I forgot to put it in like I did on this on the weekly thing where you find your weekly modules, you could come into here where I have it in here where it says McGraw-Hill site, students' mind maps, student lectures, and everything else, in case the week is open or you want to read ahead and you want to say, I wish I had that concept map so I could kind of see what's important. So when I'm reading it, especially using a virtual book, ebook, you could add the information in there. And then look, I only read 1 time. They always tell you to read once for for just to get the information, and second time for content, and third time for remembering. We're very busy individuals. All of us are. Same with me. I read it one time, but when I read it, it's like I'm taking in a classroom with the instructor, taking notes. So this way it gives you an idea, and you could bounce all over. You would say, I know this is boring, I don't need it. He or the instructor has this on here. It has some importance to the subject matter. The concept map also tells you what you should have picked out of the chapters, and it also helps you when you're doing your final paper and presentation. Part of the thing is that you utilize at least, I think, 25 concepts or definition out of the book. It doesn't make you any difference. You've taken a marketing classes or a finance class or an advertising class, and you don't know the 4 P's. You don't know about the promotional. You don't know what the heck happens when you look at certain social media sites. How do you motivate that? You have to utilize the vocabulary. This is a new language, so when you're talking to businesses, other retailers, suppliers, or other stakeholders coming into the store, that at a business level, they get that fuzzy feeling that you know something about your operation, about business. That's what this class is. This class covers everything. A lot of students taking this class are either in the fashion merchandising, going to open up their own store, or they want to take this as another elective in their marketing classes. If you notice, I teach advertising, I teach marketing, I teach sports marketing, I teach a variety of marketing classes, I teach finance, I teach management, HR. That's my degree. When I deal with clients and even a corporate, I am a well-rounded person. Other than my figure, very well-rounded. Okay? So we have that. So let's go back into our weekly. If you know everything else, everything is in your week. Everything you need. And this is now in the instructor mode. So once week ends, it starts February 15th. This one basically has to be February 14th, and it ends February 20th. And that's the end of the week. If you didn't do any of the homework, it's lost. You move forward. Just like in business, you lost a sale, let's move on. So the first week or two, I'm a little flexible. I may give you some excuses, might exempt something. But after the second week, don't come cry to me. You've got everything else here. Check your grades all the time. Your grades are basically in here. Right now, here's the grades. I don't have any grades because I'm a pretend student. You'll have your calendar. In your calendar, you'll find out everything that's due, and you can filter your calendar by institution or placement. These are different classes. You could turn everything else off you want and just have this one, and you see everything I have. I am as busy as you are, and then this is just the first of the week, so try to set up your calendar so you spend at least, okay, today I'm going to spend an hour here. Wednesday I'll spend 2 hours on discussion board. Thursday I'll do some of my homework. Or you could always use your cell phone, because McGraw-Hill, the Connect homework and everything else you're doing, you could directly go to your McGraw-Hill. They have an app and go on there. If you're trying to do your exams or something in Blackboard on your cell phone, it's an app. An app is not a full application. It's an app. It's just a very small picture view, so you may not have all the buttons. When you're doing the exams and the quizzes, I recommend you do them on either a laptop or in a computer lab or in a library or someplace you're at. If you're a virtual online student, a lot of students that don't want to come back on campus right now, or they're mobile. They're in sales, marketing, they're moving all over, or in the military. This works very well for them. Or they have family commitments, and it gives them the ability. I'm already at 32 minutes, so I have it. If you have any late exams, the only thing I do with late exams, I will, if you have an excuse and say I've got this, I'm late, I will basically allow you to take it late. I'll give you a 2-day window. Your time's the same, only going to have one try. You don't get the 2 tries. Remember, being late, you don't get the same privileges as somebody that does it on time. It's not fair. Plus, I take off percentage. But then it's just not fair. Hey, you're late. You missed it. I'm giving you a break. It's like if you're late on your payment, you have to pay the late charge on there. If you don't have sufficient funds in the checking account, you pay $50 insufficient fund transfer, whatever they do, for 50 cents. That's a ripoff, but that's part of the terms and conditions. Welcome to management, and you're going to find out different programs, different policies. You open up a store, you have to be able to do that. I'm never going to open up a store. You may not. You may have a virtual store. You may have, some of you are influencers. You already got selling stuff, so this will kind of help you. But you may be a manager. for a store, and they're going to say, how are you going to improve it? You got a lot of theft. How are you going to bring more people in here? All this is what you're going to do. And then the way you're going to learn out of this is you see how your competitors are doing and how they're doing it. So they're not going to tell you, I'm doing this. You could see by their actions or what they're doing. All right? So we have everything in here. I think I covered them at 34 minutes. Now your final project, you can create a store. In Blackboard, you can come in here, and in the final project, I have all the information you have here. And this is from May 13th. 13 is a good number for me, 21, and even though some of the things made a change, it doesn't the homework assignment doesn't change. I'm not going to redo it. You just follow it, just do the adjustments on here, and you have everything you have in here. Okay, so once again, I'm finishing here. I have everything else you wanted. I want to walk you into this class. Don't look at it overwhelming. Some of you already had online classes. Remember, this is not only an online class, fully online class. You're 24/7. Some of my lectures, sometimes I'm in the morning, I can't sleep. I'll do homework. I do everything else. It doesn't have to be from 8 to 4. If you don't want to do it during the daytime, you have to do it at nighttime. You see me at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm responding to students in the discussion board. My whole thing at the beginning, I'll respond to you. After a while, how you respond to others. I'm monitoring if I'm not doing anything else. I'm grading. And students know I'm out grading there. And they say, Dr. George, what are you doing too? I can't sleep. So I can't sleep. Might as well do the homework. You can't sleep and stuff. Counting sheep, whatever you do, not to go fall asleep. Listen to my lecture. Or respond to somebody. And then you'll get some work out of that. And then you fall asleep. Okay? All right. So I want to welcome you to this class. This is a good class, an interesting class. Get the book. Make sure you get the access code. The first homework assignment you do in the Learn Smart, it'll be in the grades. It'll be LS, Learn Smart, and the week will be Chapter 1 or whatever. Do that, and then print out my mind map, my concept map. Print out look at the PowerPoint, and also look at the library in McGraw-Hill. Once you get in there, do the McGraw-Hill Learn Smart. The first time you pair it, then you never have to put the access code in there. Don't throw away the access code. Keep it in there. Have everything working. Something not working, send go to McGraw-Hill Help. At McGraw-Hill, you can't get it to work. Go to their help. When you contact them, I got a number on there or a link at the McGraw-Hill. You got to say, hey, I got a problem, and they'll send you a link for an email or something else on there. This work is different how they manage their inquiry, but they're open in the nighttime and in the weekends on that. All right. If it's a Blackboard issue, that's Harper College. If any kind of issue in there, and then if it's a McGraw-Hill issue, get an incident number, and those are their techies. They'll take care of that software issue with your passcode to pair it if it doesn't work right. Then if it does not work, you send me an email. And remember, the only emails I'm taking, if it has to come with the Harper Gmail, Harper Student, whatever is on there. Otherwise, I don't respond to them. And then give me the incident number, and I'll put it one level up to my contact from McGraw-Hill. If the student has an issue, and he or she could you respond to them and help them out, and they'll respond to you directly and get this issued. But before I have to elevate it one level, you have to use their techie group. They're expert in their software, and they understand it. You may not like that, but it has to go through there. Because if they couldn't resolve that issue, and if they bring it up to the next level, he will take care of it. Right now it's a gentleman. That's why I use the he instead of she, because I know this contact for this from McGraw-Hill is a gentleman. He already sent me information. A couple semesters ago it was a she. But that individual will take it up and take care of it. But then they'll go back to the individual that couldn't respond for it, and if it's a system-wide thing, he'll send out a note. Here's how you take care of this issue if something happens, or they bring it to their programmers, or they give a little extra training for that person. Say it should have never been elevated to my level. You should have been able to take care of it. Quality control. Welcome to business. Welcome to management. Welcome to Harper College. And then once again, retail merchandise is a nice thing to have. It tells you everything, even if you're never going to use it. Down in the future, if you see how stores mark down, how they set up their racks, how they set up the windows, how they set up the designs, and who's their target audience, and how they basically make that atmosphere. It's not only the store, the pricing, the quality, that you have that experience. That's all marketing is about. Again, my name's Dr. George Mochocki, and I'm at 38 minutes, which is it's an orientation. Take it with a grain of salt, and I'll see you online Monday in the discussion board. Thank you very much. Bye.